Merry Christmas! Hi everyone, Dr. Bobby Striker here with Flow Physique Factory. Please, before we start, remember to hit the like button, hit the bell button to subscribe, drop us a comment, help us with the YouTube algorithm and all that kind of stuff. This is it. It's the last episode of the year. Who'd have thought? 2021 is coming to an end. And this is it. This is the final video of the year. It's emotional, but let's go out on a bang. We're going to be talking about the feast to end all feasts. Christmas dinner. I'm already salivating thinking about it. Now, Christmas dinner is something of like a trophy. You know, you really look forward to it all year. And then when the time comes, it's quite difficult to control yourself, especially if you want to stay on your nutrition plan, get into shape. And the reality is, if you're not in the shape that you want to be at this point, just enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself, okay? But we're going to be sharing some tidbits with you, just though you can enjoy yourself, but maybe you enjoy yourself in a more kind of informed way. So what we're going to do is going to share the calories. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to ruin Christmas dinner, but we're going to share the calories of most people's favorite Christmas dinner dishes, okay? Before we get into that, the typical Brit, this research that I found online is from the British kind of Christmas dinner. So different parts of the world, it might be different. But in the UK, the typical Brit consumes on average about 5,200 calories at Christmas dinner. And to kind of give you some perspective, that if you wanted to burn that, you're probably going to run about 2 26-mile marathons. The typical marathon runner in one marathon burns about 2,500 calories. So when you're going to that kind of 5,200 calorie mark, and that's all in one meal, you got to run 2 marathons to burn it off. So that's why if you are, kind of very geared up into getting, towards getting into shape, it might be worthwhile kind of holding back on certain things. Still have a good time. So let's get into the calories, shall we? Number 1 on the menu, you can't have a Christmas meal without some kind of roast. And we're going to start off with Christmas roast turkey. So remember, I'm going to give you some ballpark figures. No one knows how thick you cut your turkey slices. If your turkey slice is like 1 inch thick, then of course this isn't going to be applicable to you. But a typical kind of 90-gram slice of roast, delicious, succulent roast Christmas turkey has somewhere in the region of about 140 to 150 calories, okay? How many slices are you going to have? I don't know. You might have 2, you might have 3. You can already see the numbers adding up. But yeah, about 140 to 150 calories per, a thick-ish 90-gram chunk of turkey, and it's pretty good. Turkey is great. About 25 grams of protein in that kind of slice. But of course, if you have 2, 3, 4 slices, you go back for seconds, then it's gonna kind of add up a little bit. But yeah, so that's Christmas turkey. What are other popular roasts? Well, some people like a roast ham, a roast Christmas ham, glazed. Calorie count, similar, a 90-gram kind of slice of Christmas ham. You're going to be looking anywhere in the ballpark of 130 to 140 calories per slice. And who knows how many slices you're going to have. But the protein counts are going to be a bit lower, about 16 grams of protein, thereabouts. Again, all depends on how thickly you cut your slices. If you cut the entire ham in half and that's your slice, then you can throw all of these numbers out the window. But if we're going to be looking at our protein, we like our protein, right, guys? The Christmas ham is probably going to offer you slightly less protein. What about you red meat lovers? What if you're going to be going for a roast beef? Roast beef is pretty good, guys. It's, people like the turkey, but beef's a good one. I like a bit of beef. 90 grams, we're going to be looking at, again, a 90-gram slice. We're looking at about 150 to 160 calories, so the calories might be a little bit higher, but you're going to get a fair amount of protein. So again, a higher protein count, maybe about 25 grams of protein. And what else is a staple? At least in the UK, you're going to be having your roast with Brussels sprouts. Love it all over there. I love it. It goes back to my kind of school dinners Everyone else hated them. I really like Brussels sprouts. Even here in Singapore, people are like, what are these things? I'm like, these are Brussels sprouts. And they're like, do we have to eat them? I'm like, yes. Yeah, you got to eat them. You got to cook it right. You need to throw in some not so healthy stuff, and then it tastes really good. And yeah. But for Brussels sprouts, buttered Brussels sprouts, you're looking at about gram per calorie, 1 gram to 1 calorie. So if you have 100 grams of Brussels sprouts, that could be roughly around about 100 calories. I mean, it's still a vegetable. So of course the calories going to be lower than your beef, turkey, and ham and all of that kind of stuff. So you probably do want to consider loading your plate with more Brussels sprouts if, keeping the overall calories down is something that you're hoping to do, yeah? But arguably, the most popular roast item on the Christmas dinner table is not the turkey, the ham, or roast beef. It's roast potatoes. Yeah, roast potatoes. And you can't have a Christmas dinner without gorgeous, crispy, fluffy roast potatoes. And if you've done it properly, and by which I mean they're completely smothered in some kind of fat, the calories are going to be significant. A traditional, Christmas roast potato is going to be probably cooked with goose fat. I found a good substitute in Singapore is not goose fat because it's quite hard to find out here, but you can use ghee, clarified butter. You can find it in all the local supermarkets, and it's a lot more popular in Asia. But it's essentially a very kind of rich fat, and it's going to add a lot of depth to your roast potatoes, and it's going to add a lot of fat and calories too. So 100 grams of roast potatoes, which is about 1 small roast potato, just to give you some perspective, you're looking at anywhere between 150 to 160 calories, if not more. So who has only 1 small roast potato at Christmas dinner? You're probably going to have 3 or 4, so you can do the rest of the math. I'll leave that there, okay? Then, one of my favorites, Yorkshire puddings. In Singapore, people were like, oh, is this a dessert? No, because of the word pudding. Yorkshire puddings are a staple in the UK. It's little pastry things made mostly out of flour, egg, and oil, and you kind of bake it and it rises up, and then you pour gravy into it, and yeah, it's nice. It goes really well with the rest of the feast. Calories not too bad. Maybe kind of 1 small Yorkshire pudding could have between about 60 to 80 calories, so not too bad. Not too bad by itself, but of course, how many are you going to have? And it's all kind of adding up. And talking about puddings, then we get to the real puddings, Christmas puddings. And that's where things start to go a little bit haywire. The puddings and all the kind of Christmas desserts are very, very calorie dense. So a kind of 110 gram wedge of Christmas pudding, you're looking anywhere between maybe about 330, 350 calories. So that's pretty crazy. And of course, if you're going to be pouring anything on it, any kind of sauce, cream, or custard or whatever, the calories are going to be even more significant. But my favorite, and this is probably the top 10 number 1 villain of the Christmas meal because of the maximum calorie density, approaching like the density of a dwarf dying star. We're talking about mince pies. Mince pies doesn't mean mincemeat, guys. For people who are not familiar, mince pies are these little sweet dessert pies, and they're amazing, super sweet, super dense, super rich. And 1 small mince pie, 60, 70 grams, it's about this little fella, this big, could be anywhere up to 250 calories. That's little thing like that, 250 calories. So on the Christmas table, per gram per calorie, this is going to be the most dangerous thing to have. So if you are, really trying to not go too crazy, if you had to avoid any one thing, difficult not to, it's the mince pie. Okay, then what about champagne? Champagne, yay, bubbly. 1 flute of champagne, typically around about 110 calories. So what can you do? Are you going to be the Scrooge that brings the weighing scale to the Christmas dinner table? Well, let us give you a hand, literally. What I'm hoping most of you have is a hand, okay? And hands kind of are proportionate to your body size. So when we do like our personal trainer certification and we learn about basics of nutrition, and this is something that we're often taught, using an individual's hand as a guide to how much to eat. So what do I mean by that? So there are actual recommendations, the practicality is just not there. You don't want to be the Grinch that goes to grandma's Christmas dinner with your weighing scale and then say, sorry, Granny, I know you've been spending hours lovingly preparing this roast meal, which only comes once per year, but I'm not going to eat anything. Come on, don't be that guy. Enjoy your Christmas dinner. And for once, maybe you leave that kitchen scale in the kitchen or wherever you keep it. Instead, if you are wanting to kind of track things on the sly, you can use your hand. So these are some recommendations. So for women, for your protein, so that could be your turkey and all of that, one palm of protein, and vegetables, a fistful of vegetables. I almost said fistful of dollars, referring to the movie, but a fistful of vegetables. How about your carbs? One cupped handful of carbs. That could be like your potatoes and all that kind of stuff. And your fats, one thumb. There you go, one thumb of fats. Of course, a lot of these kind of foods are going to be mixed. There's going to be fat in everything and stuff. But this gives you a rough idea for kind of a healthy plate on the fly. So if you're at your family Christmas dinner or you're out and about going to a restaurant or a buffet or whatever, you can use your hand. Generally, if you're a bigger person, you're going to have a bigger hand, and if you're a smaller person, you're going to have a smaller hand. It's kind of proportional to your body size. So, and you carry your hand with you most places, and you can use that on the fly to give you a rough idea what might be healthy proportions relative to your body size. It's not always going to work, and it's not going to be as accurate as weighing your food portions, but it's something you can do. And what about for men? It's double. So for men, it would be 2 palms of protein. Okay, it would be 2 fists of vegetables, 2 cupped handfuls of carb-dense foods, and 2 thumbs of fat-dense foods. So that is your kind of basic kind of something you can kind of use to gauge roughly, maybe better than not being able to gauge at all, if you really want to keep things under control. But the bottom line, guys, it is Christmas. It is the end of the year. And for a lot of us, it's that one time where we really see all our family, and people have been on lockdown and whatnot all over the world so many times. And I know a lot of people, this is the first time they're going to be able to spend Christmas with their loved ones. So I do hope you all enjoy it. If you do want to keep a track of things, you can do that. Great. But if you want to enjoy it, enjoy yourself, As Jules has mentioned in her blog posts and things, you can think of your calories like a budget, like spending money. And if you know you're going to max out your calorie credit card on Christmas dinner, perhaps you just spend a little bit less on the days before and after, kind of leading up to it, and the days after, so overall you still stay within your kind of calorie credit limit, your calorie budget. And that way you can kind of moderate a little bit, enjoying Christmas Day, but you're going to enjoy it, so you kind of rein in a little bit on the days before and after. Simple. Now, coming up to New Year's, and what does New Year's bring? Resolutions. Resolutions, huh? And Jules has just posted a blog post saying that the failure rate for New Year's resolutions can be anywhere up to 80%. That's a really high failure rate. And apparently around mid-February is most people already start to wax and wane a little bit and kind of give up on their New Year's resolutions. And one of the top New Year's resolutions, of course, is always getting into shape, losing weight, getting fit. And often people fail, but not in 2022. Why? What's the difference about 2022? Why are you going to crush your goals in 2022? Because for the first time in history, 3 After Energy is here, and you're following us, and we're going to help you. We're going to make sure you crush your goals. We're going to be churning out great content. We're going to make sure 2022 is the year you succeed in your fitness and weight loss goals. And I'm going to ask her to come out from behind the camera. Jules, come on over, because this is it. It's our last video of the year. This is co-founder of 3 After Energy. This is Jules. And really stay tuned for the new year. We're going to have lots of great content coming out. You're going to see a lot more of Jules. She's also a certified trainer. We're going to be doing a podcast, so we'll be trying to post videos twice per week. And we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell button for notifications, follow us on social media. We will see you all in 2022. Don't be late for your appointments, guys. Merry Christmas. See you, guys. Bye, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye, everyone. Yeah. Woo.